Bernie writes in a great question to me. She quotes scripture first. It's all about Judas. It would be better if he had never been born. And then Bernie asks, is not God all forgiving? So how could Judas have been lost? This is a really good question. It raises all kinds of issues about freedom, about free will, about heaven, hell, and purgatory. So how do we understand this? This man who had betrayed Jesus, and Jesus in John 17 says that no one was lost except the one who was meant to be lost, the son of perdition, son of destruction, so that the scripture might be fulfilled. And there's definitely a mystery there, that Jesus, being God, knew that Judas would betray him. And yet, he allows Judas to do what he did. But at all times, Judas was free to do or not to do what he eventually ended up doing. I remember when I was in school, an old teacher, Jesuit priest, talking about predestination, talking about if God knows that I'm going to do evil, then why does he allow me to do it? And the old priest said, look, when you walk out the door of this room at the end of this class, you can go to the right or to the left. You are entirely free to go either way. God knows which way you're going, but you are still free to choose. As was Judas. And Judas chose to betray Jesus and to turn away from the light. Bernie, if you have a light in your room right now and you are facing the light, you have all the benefit of the light shining on you, and you walk in the light. But if you turn from the light, then your face is in darkness and you walk in darkness, and yet the light is still shining on you. The love of God is the light. And the love of God was still shining on Judas even as he betrayed him, even as he walked away in darkness. And you know that line in St. John, that after Judas had eaten of the bread which Jesus gave him at Last Supper, the night had fallen. And out he goes into the darkness. But he was still free. He could have turned around and said, no, I will not betray him. I will not take the 30 pieces of silver. We are free. We have free will. And the awful thing about it is, Bernie, God respects our choice. He does not treat us like puppets. He treats us like adult human beings in the faith. And he wants us to trust him. And if we don't, and trust only ourselves, and walk away from him, even though there will be tears in his eyes, he will allow us to go, because he wants our love to be free. So this is the awful power of our free will. It can lead us to salvation with God's grace, or it can lead us to perdition. What an awful responsibility it is to try and follow Jesus, to try to live as a human being in this world. What an awesome task we have. So let us not underestimate it. Let us not think that we are all going to be saved because we're all like little puppets before God. No, we're not. We are so loved by God, who so loves our freedom our free will and our ability, which He has given us, to use our intellect to follow Him freely. And He so respects that He will respect our choice now and for all eternity. God bless you.